はい、皆さんこんにちは。アルファアドバイザーズの坂下です。今日はかねてから皆さんにお知らせしていた通り、NUS の MBA のアドミッションの方がアルファの限定の説明会のためにですね、ウェビナーを実施してくれます。で、シンガポール国立大学の MBA、アジアで今年もファイナンシャルタイムズのランキングでナンバーワンですし、世界でもトップランクで、非常に人気のある MBA ですね。アルファでは本当に今 MBA ですね、20代、30代、40代、あと50代の方も MBA とかキャリアのご相談たくさんいただいてまして、今年もすでに実はNUS の合格者が出てるんですけれども、そんな中 NUS のアドミッションの方がですね、ぜひこういう説明会やりましょうということで来てくださいました。これまでもインシアードとかシカゴの EMBA とか CUHK とかいろんな学校さんが来てくださってるんですけれども、今日もすごくね素晴らしいプレゼンテーションで学校の内容、それからシンガポールって最近住みたいとか将来住みたいという方も結構多いので、そのあたりのですねシンガポールのお話もしてくださいます。あと奨学金とか、他のデュアルディグリーのプログラムのお話も今日はしてくださいますので、ぜひ皆さん聞いてください。MBA にこれから挑戦したいという方はぜひ見ていただきたいですし、興味があるなという方も、こういう感じかというのがね、わかると思います。で、アドミッションの方が今日英語で説明してくださるので、ちょっと聞き取れない部分は私たちもフォローしながら進めていきます。で、こんな感じで、海外のアドミッションの方、MBA の人ってこういう風なんだなっていうのもわかると思いますので、ぜひ、聞いていただければと思います。で、最後、QA セッションやりますので、適宜、質問を入れていただければ拾ってお答えしていきますので、YouTube のコメント欄にぜひコメントとか質問とかも入れていただければと思います。はい。で今日はいつもの通り、アルファ代表の入住さんも入ってくださってます。あとはアドミッションのじゅんさんも入ってくださってますので、よろしくお願いします。はい、じゃ入住さんから最初にね、本当に最近アルファ、20代から30代、40代、50代まで MBA に、ね、挑戦される方が非常に増えてますけれども、そういったことも含めて今日は素晴らしい MBA プログラムの方が来てくださっているので、すごく素晴らしい機会になると思うんですけれども。
はい、ありがとうございます。本当にこの前のインシアード、に続いてですね、ハルトさんとかもそうですし、続々とですね、アルファで MBA のアドミッションの方がお話しいただけているっていうのは、本当にそれだけアルファのですね、ブランドや認知が非常に広がってきているということだと思います。で、あとは、特にそのアジアということで言うと、当然日本のその企業っていうのは、アジアですね、それこそシンガポール、香港、中国、東南アジアっていうところを見ているので、現実的に本当にその仕事をですね、そのアジアでしていくっていう方が、オポチュニティは多いわけですね。で、そうしたときに、やはりそのシンガポールっていう場所で、それこそ東南アジアとかにも非常にアクセスがしやすいとかですね。あとはそういうそのアジアの人たちが集まってきているっていうところも含めて、私もキャンパスビジットツアーで何度も NUS の MBA 訪問させていただきましたけれども、本当に素晴らしい学校、キャンパスで、もう安全だし、もう住みやすいし、もう一人でもいいですし、ご家族でも楽しめて、で、かつですね、ビジネスもそれこそ大企業の方から起業を目指す人までですね、本当に多様なプログラム、それとあとダブルディグリーっていうか、いわゆるジョイントディグリーですね、もありますし、非常にですね、レベルの高い、NUS っていうのは、ナショナル、そのシンガポール国立大なんで、いわゆるシンガポールにおける東大ですからね。そこの MBA ということなので、ブランドも間違いないですし、クオリティも高いですし、あとは何といってもアジアアクセスっていうところも含めてですね、皆さんの選択肢としては、非常に魅力的なオプションになるんじゃないかなというふうに思ってますので、ぜひ、たくさん質問入れておいてください。我々で拾って、後でどんどん聞きますし、あとは、アルファの個別指導生の方で、NUS トライしたいっていう方はですね、アドミッションの方にもおつなぎしますので、ぜひですね、どんどんアルファを活用して世界に行っていただければと思います。では、エミさん、よろしくお願いします。
ありがとうございます。 So Jun-san, thank you for this great opportunity tonight, and please go ahead with your presentation.
All right, thank you so much for the introduction. And first of all, thank you very much to Alpha Advisors also for inviting us to have this opportunity to share a little bit more with you about the NUS MBA program that is offered by NUS Business School in Singapore. So perhaps to start off this session, what I'd like to do is just to give a little bit of a breakdown of the candidates that we have recently admitted. I'm sure all of us here are also interested to know how many students from Japan actually have been admitted to the program, and what kind of industries that they represent. So as some of us might be aware, we actually deferred the start date of our August 2020 intake to January 2021 due to the pandemic situation. But in that sense, we did get a very good and very diverse group of students in not just the full-time MBA, but in the part-time MBA as well. So there are a total of 29 different nationalities that are being represented in both our full-time and part-time program. And you would be happy to know that we have actually a total of 19 students from Japan who have joined the program as well. So 11 in the full-time program and 8 in the part-time program, representing a rather diverse set of industries. And you can see the work experience of our students from Japan are averaging at about 8.6 for the full-time and 10 years for the part-time program. So I hope this gives us an overview of how the intake looks like, and also your peers from Japan, right? How many of them are in the program? Okay, so I think most of us are also pretty much aware about Singapore. I wouldn't dive in too deep into this slide, but generally, for those who choose Singapore as an MBA destination compared with other cities in Asia, like Hong Kong or even in China, which are also popular destinations for an MBA program. I think the great thing about Singapore mainly is that there is a good mix and blend of the East and the West. And it helps that Singapore, we are very diverse culturally in terms of our society. So most of our students always find that it's very easy to immerse themselves into the student life, be it whether to live, to work, or study in Singapore. And I think the great thing about Singapore is that we have a very good geographical location, which explains why many MNCs tend to want to set up, a regional headquarters or a branch in Singapore. So companies like Google, Facebook, P&G, for example, they have actually set up their regional HQ in Singapore. And of course, NUS, we do very well in terms of international rankings. So rankings is not everything, but I think this kind of like gives you an idea of the signal that the school sends out, whenever you have the NUS brand name on your resume. So you can see here that, we have done very well in terms of the Financial Times Global MBA ranking. So we have been climbing in terms of our rankings for the past 3 years. And I think this sends a very positive signal to the market out there. All right, so perhaps the next question you might have in mind then is why the NUS MBA, right? What actually sets the NUS MBA apart from many other MBA programs? So we believe that the NUS MBA is one of the most transformative MBA experiences. I believe most of us, when we are looking at stepping into an MBA program, we are looking for some form of change, some form of transformation. And how do we help you to effect that transformation, that change? So we provide what we call a very immersive experience through 3 pillars in our program. So firstly, our first pillar is to build. And what we mean by that is to build a strong and a balanced MBA foundation through what we have a dual core. So we practice a dual core, an academic core and an experiential core. So in the academic core, you would go through the typical core modules that most MBA programs would offer, the core business modules such as strategy, marketing, finance, and accounting. And then we have the experiential core, which we find that this is the most important aspect of the program. So in the experiential core, you will go through 3 components. Firstly, a launch or transformation, which is a 5-day boot camp, where we use this as an opportunity to kickstart your MBA program and set the tone and expectation right for your MBA journey. The second part of the experiential core is the Mba Survival Kit. So basically, the Survival Kit, it trains our students on aspects such as negotiation, cultural awareness, interpersonal awareness, and these are skills that are important for you, be it whether in an MBA program or whether you take it up to the corporate world or even to do your own business in the future. There are also other skills that we teach in this Mba Survival Kit that will be very essential for you, in your project work in the MBA program, and they will be very useful to you in the future as well. And of course, finally, we have the MBA consulting project. This is the main platform for our students to apply what they have learned in the classroom to the real world. So in a consulting project, you would have the opportunity to learn to do the project alongside with about 4 to 5 of your classmates, and you will help a sponsor organization to solve a real life business issue that they are facing. So this is the best way for you to apply what you've learned in your core modules in the survival kit to your project as well. And that gives you also some form of industry exposure and working with real life industry professionals as well. So the second pillar would be the ability to tailor the program to fit your career goals. So we believe that every student's, every individual professional and personal developmental needs are different, right? So you can choose 7 electives from 50 over academic electives that are available across these areas, such as finance and marketing. You can choose to specialize in them as well, if you'd like to. We also have specialization in real estate or healthcare management. But at the same time, if you prefer to approach your MBA more from a general management kind of route, you can do so as well by choosing your 7 electives across any of the 7 areas. There are also experiential electives such as Lean Launchpad, Tech Launch, which I believe Lean Launchpad is going to be a very popular option for those who are looking at entrepreneurship. And I believe from a lot of conversations that we've had with Japanese MBA prospective students and candidates, Lean Launchpad is one of the programs that really attracts them to to the NUS MBA program. So basically, Lean Launchpad, what it does is that it allows you to work with a group of innovators or inventors to commercialize a product or an invention that they had developed. So if you are interested in entrepreneurship, this is a great platform for you to explore. And then last but not least, there are many other opportunities and pathways beyond the classroom that allows you to amplify your MBA journey. Because at the end of the day, the MBA is not just about attending classes, about acing exams and tests and assignments. There's a lot more to the entire MBA experience that is going to help you build and achieve that transformation. So you can explore internships if you like to during the program. We also have many exchange programs available with 60 over partner universities around the world. We have a very robust student club ecosystem that I'm going to share a little bit more upcoming later, and how this student club ecosystem actually contributes to the whole MBA experience at NUS Mba. But these are just some of the pathways that you can explore outside of the classroom, for you to enhance your MBA journey. So we believe that this whole build, tailor, amplify structure is how we help our students to achieve that transformation. So the program duration, For the full-time MBA, lasts 17 months. So this is quite a unique duration. I think most MBAs are either 1 year or 2-year programs, but a lot of students choose the NUS MBA because it is a 1.5-year program. So what they like to call it, like the sweet spot, whereby the program is not too short, neither is it too long. So it gives you ample time to actually take advantage of the many opportunities that and platforms and channels that the school actually offer. So this here just gives an overview of how the modules would be spread out over a 17-month program. I'm not sure if there are any candidates here who are Japanese candidates here who are based out of Singapore, but if you are, you could also look at the part-time MBA, which lasts 24 months, and there is also a 13-month option if you'd like to spread your program out over a longer period of time. Right, so you can also choose to do exchange programs, as I mentioned earlier, in your special term or in the year 2 if you'd like to, and also optional internship if you'd like to. All right. Okay, so how the whole experience works out, as you can see in this slide, basically you are able to have a combination of classroom and experiential learning activities and opportunities during your MBA program, and this is how the whole engine works together. So other than academic experiential learning, there are a lot of outside of classroom opportunities and also career development activities that you could take part in. So I will go a little bit more into career development a little bit later. So as I talked earlier about the MBA club ecosystem, I thought to bring this up because the club ecosystem is one of the key drivers, or I would say the engine behind the NUS MBA program. And you can see that we do have over 10 different student clubs with a mixture of professional clubs as well as general interest clubs. So being a part of the club, this club ecosystem, how it drives the program is that we do have students, leaders heading each club, and each club's responsibility is to bring in industry context and industry relationships into the program. So each club will actually work very closely with the alumni office, with the career development office, with our program office, and even the student leaders themselves, sometimes tapping on their own network to bring in industry professionals into this club ecosystem. And what they do is, from this you can see that they basically drive events and thought leadership for our students. So these events that I'm showing here are mainly driven by our students in collaboration with our career office or with our alumni office, right? So you can see here a really vast and diverse variety of industry contexts that we have, not just from the school, but from the students as well. So this is what I mean by the robust club ecosystem is really the real engine behind the entire NUS MBA program. And this is actually awesome in terms of networking opportunities. If there are any topics or any particular areas of interest that you are interested in and passionate about, we definitely would encourage you to be a part of the student club ecosystem. Right, so this just gives an overview of the kind of events that our students have actually run during the course of the MBA. And the interesting thing is most of these events, as you can see, they are run virtually because of the COVID-19 situation. And in fact, because of the situation, our students have managed to run even more events than in the past. Okay, and there are also double degree programs if you'd like to explore, additional degrees outside of Singapore. So we have 4 double degree programs available, namely with PKU in China, with HEC in France, Paris, with the Lee Kuan Yew School of Public Policy in Singapore, and with Yale in the USA, right? So I won't go too deeply into this, but this just gives an idea of some of the other, alternative routes if you'd like to take for the rather than just the regular NUS MBA. Okay, so I'll just quickly share with every one of us here on the average class profile. I think what's important is who you are learning alongside with during the MBA program. So in the full-time MBA, we do see a class size of about 100 to 120 students on average. So not a very big class size. In fact, we prefer to keep the class size small because we would like to give each student undivided attention, not just from the program management team, but from our faculty as well. However, it is very well represented in terms of the number of the diverse number of nationalities that we have in every class. The average Gmat stands at about 670, average age 29, and interestingly, more than 90% of our students are actually international students in the full-time MBA. So this also shows Singapore's attractiveness, right, to international candidates as an MBA destination. The other thing is also, if you look at our part-time MBA cohort, you do see that, in fact, slightly more than half of the class are also made up of international candidates. But the main difference is that these candidates are based here out of Singapore, and the work experience tends to be a little bit more mature compared to the full-time MBA, but these are candidates who have more work experience. They are very established working professionals based here. So the part-time MBA is actually a good channel for you to build your network in Singapore. And in fact, the good thing about NUS MBA is you get to learn alongside your counterparts in the part-time MBA program and vice versa in some of your classes. So this is a great opportunity for you to build the network in Singapore. All right, so in terms of career development, I believe this is an area that is very important to a lot of our students because ultimately, it's about what happens after the MBA that is also as important as the MBA journey itself. So we do have a very strong career office called Biz Careers that partners with each and every one of our students to help you strategize your so-called post-MBA career aspirations. So they do help or support our students in various channels so that they do organize many recruitment events and industry panel discussions for our students to network with industry professionals. There are portals and resources to help students with job search and internship search as well. And we also provide mentoring and coaching for our students too. So in fact, each student will be assigned a dedicated career coach during the journey of their MBA. And we also run what we call an alumni mentorship program, whereby each NUS MBA student will be paired with an alumni. And the purpose of this alumni mentorship program is really for, to help our students immerse and ease themselves into the MBA program. And the mentor is to serve as someone who can really be a friend and an advisor to you, and give you the best tips and insights and advice as you are going through your MBA program. And of course, lastly but not least, training and development is also very important. So our career office also offers many workshops, like career skills, interview skills, case cracking, data visualization, so on and so forth, for you to hone your skill sets in these areas and ultimately make you more employable as well. So the career development journey starts from day one, the moment you start the program with us. It is an ongoing journey from the start to the end of your program. So this just shows how the whole journey pans out during your 17 month duration. So do expect that to be involved in these activities throughout the whole NUS MBA program. All right, so in terms of employment statistics, these are figures that you can find from Financial Times. I also will not go way too much into this, but so far we do see an average of 94% of students employed within 3 months from graduation date. And in terms of pre and post MBA employment, you can see that the top industries that our students move into after the MBA are actually technology, financial services, and consulting. In fact, in the recent years, we are starting to see healthcare moving up the ranks in that sense. It's starting to become a very popular industry that our students go into after the MBA program. And most of our students do actually remain within Asia as well after the MBA. About a quarter of the students to a third will eventually be here in Singapore after the MBA program. Okay, and this just shows the top companies that have recruited NUS MBA graduates. We do see a diverse group of recruiters coming on campus. On average, the career services will have at least one event every week or every other week for our students to connect and network with industry professionals. Okay, so I'll move on quickly to the last part of my session, and that is to just give everyone a quick run through and overview of our admissions process, especially if you are looking at applying for the NUS MBA, be it for August 2021 intake or beyond that. So we do have 4 admission requirements that all candidates must meet prior to filing an application for the program. So firstly, a bachelor's degree is required. Candidates do need to have minimum 2 years of full-time work experience. And from an admission standpoint, we count work experience from your first full-time employment after your bachelor's degree up till the point of application. You do also need to have a Gmat or GRE score if you are applying to the full-time MBA. And a TOEFL or IELTS score is also required if your undergraduate degree was not fully taught in English. So do have this list of supporting documents prepared on hand while you are working on your application, right? So you would need to make sure that you have your CV, your academic transcripts and degree scrolls, as well as your test scores, your passport copy on hand as well as a financial supporting document. So for such a document, all we need is your latest salary slip or your latest bank statement. Okay, and how do we put up an application to the program? So firstly, you do need to create an account on our application portal. You need not complete your application in one sitting, but we do encourage you to start an account early because this would help you to have a look through at the portal, and you would then get a sense of what you need to prepare for the application. So in the application, we do require candidates to fill in other than the personal particulars, you have to provide 2 compulsory and 1 optional essay. The questions are in the portal itself. You also need to nominate 2 professional referees, and we encourage professional referees only. Unfortunately, we do not accept academic referees for the application, and also upload the supporting documents as I mentioned in the earlier slide. And once you have done that, you can complete your declaration together with the application fee and submit your application. So filing in an application is not that difficult. It's fairly easy, and you don't have to finish your application in one sitting. You can always do it halfway, save it, and come back to it as and when you have time. In terms of the application review timeline, upon submitting a completed application, do give us about 2 to 4 weeks to assess your application, after which you will be notified you have an interview. The interview typically takes about 30 minutes with 2 panelists. And after the interview, again, another 2 to 4 weeks is required before the final decision is made. And should you choose to accept our offer, it would have to come together with 10,700 Singapore dollars acceptance fee. So the whole process will take about 6 to 8 weeks. We do also have many merit-based scholarships available. So every year, approximately 20% of successful admits do successfully get a scholarship award. And scholarship awards typically cover 15 to 30% of the tuition fee, depending on the merit of the candidate. All right, so the application deadline for the August 2021 intake, our first application deadline is actually tomorrow for the full-time MBA, but we still have one more final application deadline, which is on 31st of March 2021. And if you're looking at a part-time program, the final application deadline will be 17th of May 2021. So applications are reviewed on a rolling basis. So what we would encourage is the moment you are ready with your scores, with your essays, your referees, and your application, you may file in an application at any point in the admission cycle. And once we receive a completed application, we will commence the review process immediately, and we will not wait till the deadline to do so. All right, so I guess this is going to be my final slide for this session. I think the opportunity to connect with our students and get insights from them, it's very important when you are making a decision on your MBA journey. Doing an MBA is an important decision, and we do encourage you to get connected with our students and talk to them to find out more about the program and if the NUS MBA is also the right fit for you. So you can connect with, we do have an unofficial blog or website that is set up and maintained by our students from Japan. So feel free to visit this website to find out more information about the program. You can also connect with our current students and alumni ambassadors through our website. And when you go to this link, you will be able to see a list of student ambassadors actually from different countries. Some are in the full-time program, some are in the part-time program. So we do encourage you to actually talk to one of our student ambassadors to find out more about the program. All right, so these are ways to reach us at the admissions team. So if you have any questions on the program, on the application or admissions process, please feel free to drop us a note. These are ways that you can connect with us and contact us, and yeah, we'll be happy to support you in any way that we can. All right, so with that, I think I've come to the end of my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you for a great presentation. So yeah, we will move on to the next QA session. And 素晴らしい。そのね、クラスサイズも200人、225人とかで、あとは結構特徴で、なんでしょう、アルファの見ていただいている方の最近、無料相談とか私もお受けしてるんですけど、こう結構ぴったりだなと思ったのは、年齢がね、大体アベレージのワーキングエクスペリエンスが8年ぐらいということなんで、30歳ぐらいの方がこう平均としては多いっていうことで、アメリカの、そのフルタイム2年生の MBA だと若い層が入ってくると思うんですけど、そのアラサーから35歳とかぐらいの、ミドルキャリアぐらいの方ですかね。そういう方にも非常にぴったりなプログラムかなと思いましたね。はい。アルファでもね、シンガポールで働きたいとか、シンガポールに住みたいという方も多いので、そういう方なんかはもう受けてたりしますけれども、では、早速質問に入っていきたいと思います。
So many questions.
はい、最初のご質問ですね。お話ありがとうございます。はい。パートタイム MBA は日本で働きながら参加も可能でしょうか？ So, the first question is, are students able to earn a part-time MBA while they are working in Japan? And I would like to add some question. So, is the part-time MBA held online or weekends only, or sometimes on campus, or some other features?
Okay, thank you, Annie. Actually, for part-time MBA, I think frankly, it is only possible to take the part-time MBA if you are based in Singapore. And that's because firstly, we do not offer any online format for the MBA program at this point in time. I understand that with the current situation, many programs have converted or decided to offer their program online. But for the MBA program, I think we believe that experiencing the program in person is actually going to be the most valuable for our students. So for part-time MBA, only students based in Singapore will be able to take on that program format. The classes are actually held 2 to 3 times per week in the weekday evenings as well as on one of the weekend days. So it could be, say, for example, Tuesday evening, Thursday evening, and maybe a Saturday for classes. So it would be quite difficult to attend the class if you are not based in Singapore.
Right, thank you. なので、日本に住んでいるとか、日本ベースの方は、日本にいながらシンガポールでパートタイムでっていうのは難しいということですね。だから駐在している方とかは、シンガポールに限らず、香港とかアメリカとかでパートタイムに行く方っていうのは結構いらっしゃいますよね。
シンガポールで働いてる日本人の人も多いんでね。
そうですよね。
そういう方はもうそのまま NUS 働きながら NUS の MBA に行かれるっていうのはとてもいい選択肢じゃないですかね。アメリカとかヨーロッパでも多いですからね、今。
そうですね。
コロンビアとか、それこそシカゴとかの EMBA とかね、パートタイムとか NYU とか、普通にニューヨークとかロンドンとか、住んでる駐在員の方行ってますからね。
はい、ありがとうございます。じゃあ次のご質問に行きたいと思います。社会人4年目です。ファイナンスを中心に勉強したいのですが、MBA とマスターインファイナンスのどちらがおすすめですか？マスターインファイナンスは社会人向けでないように思います。ということで、目的による気もしますけど、ちょっと伺いたいと思います。So the second question is, I have a 4-year working experience and wanna study finance especially. Which do you think better to study in MBA or master in finance program? Because I'm thinking the master in finance is not for working adults, but only for students who are directly matriculate into the program after graduation.
Okay, thanks, Annie. Okay, with regards to this, I think whether to choose an MBA or a master's degree program, a specialized master's, really depends a lot on your career goal. A master's degree, be it in finance or in any other discipline, is great if let's say your plan is to build domain expertise. So like, for example, if you feel that you want to build that very in-depth expertise, functional and technical knowledge in finance, then a master's degree in finance would serve you better. But if you are looking to build breadth, whereby you are able to learn the different aspects of business and management, then an MBA would serve you better. And I think in an MBA, the good thing about an MBA is that it helps you hone a lot of soft skills other than the hard skills, because in an MBA, you are going to be learning alongside many people from different backgrounds, not just industry backgrounds, but cultural background as well. So it actually builds a lot of the softer skills, like, as I mentioned earlier, cultural awareness, interpersonal awareness, and the ability to collaborate and communicate across different cultures and different understanding each other's perspectives. So there are a lot of softer aspects, I would say softer aspects that students get to build during the MBA program. And I think this is great for someone who is looking to take on higher responsibility, maybe move up the ranks in their career, and take on higher responsibility, or maybe even move into senior management roles in the future. So I think it really goes back to your career goals, and that would then help you decide whether a master's degree or an MBA degree is better.
Okay, thank you. なので、キャリアゴールによるっていうところがですかね。ただ、もちろんマスター・イン・ファイナンスとかも素晴らしいプログラムなんで、その人に合っているのであれば、ぜひ、取っていただければと思います。アルファでも、本当に MBA 以外でも社会人の方でも、全然、そのファイナンスのマスターとか、最近だとビジネスアナリティクスのマスターとか、データサイエンスとか、コンピューターサイエンスとか、いろんなそのマスターのプログラム、社会人の方でも行かれてますよね。結構学校の平均年齢はどちらかというと MBA よりは低い場合が多いんですけれども、その人のゴールに合っていれば全然、皆さんその後のキャリアも十分に跳ねて自分のちゃんとゴールに向かっている方がいますので、ぜひアルファにもご相談いただければと思います。そういう方もたくさんいるので。はい。次のご質問いきたいと思います。デュアルディグリーのご説明がありましたが、これは入学してからコース変更や選択可能でしょうか？また出願は NUS に出願することになるのでしょうか？ということですね。はい。So the next question is about a dual degree program. And can students choose whether they are in a dual degree program or not after getting into NUS MBA? And, and also, please explain the application process for that. So the application is only to NUS or some other additional materials, some essays or some other materials.
Okay, that's a great question about the double degree program. So all double degrees, with the exception of the Yale MAM degree, you do have to apply at the onset. So meaning to say that you have to file in an application with NUS as well as with the partner university at the same time. And you do need to indicate in your application that you are applying for this double degree program, so that our admissions team is aware that you are planning to apply to the partner school too, and we can then communicate with the partner school with regards to your application. If, let's say, for example, you are able to successfully get an admission from one school, but not the other, you will still have the option to enroll for the school that you successfully gained the admission to, right? So in terms of the admission requirements for the partner universities, there are some, for the double degree programs, there are some slight differences to the admission requirements. So do take note of that. Like, for example, for the NUS HSA double degree program, because HSA requires MBA candidates to have minimum 3 years of work experience or more. So in order to apply to this double degree program, do ensure that you have at least 3 years or more of work experience to be able to meet the requirement of both HSA and NUS. All right, so in terms of the admissions process, it will run concurrently. You will be reviewed and assessed by NUS as well as by the partner university, right? And then after that, you will be able to, and after if you're shortlisted for an interview, post-interview, you will be able to know whether you have successfully gained admission into both programs or
not. Okay, thank you. なので、最初から NUS とそのパートナープログラムの方、両方にアプライが必要ということですね。 はい、なので、ぜひダブルディグリー取りたいという方は、両方に出す準備をしてということですね。
これすごいその北京大とかね、いろんなプログラムがあるから、
そうですね、
すごいいいですよね。
はい。ちょっと出してもらえますかね。
ね。
Could you go back to the slides of the double degree program? There are a lot of great programs. We would like to introduce more about that.
I think it's this slide, right?
Yeah, great. Thank you. なので、まあ、北京大学とか HEC、パリの HEC パリスとか、あとは、MBA と MPA ですね。なんで、まあ、パブリックポリシーに興味ある方とか結構多いですもんね。これも。で、もともとの NUS のプログラムが1年半なんで、デュアルで取っても2年で卒業できるってことですよね。すごいいいですよね。あとはイェールのマスターインマネージメントかな。
So maybe I may take this opportunity to clarify about the Yale MEM double degree. So this is the only double degree program that is not available for application at the onset. So only candidates that have been enrolled and started their MBA with NUS are eligible to apply for the Yale MEM double degree program. So this is the only exception. So what happens is that usually within the first semester of the NUS MBA program, that's when we will then inform students about the Yale MEM and when they can file in their application. So when they file in an application with Yale, they will be subject to the admissions process and review by our counterparts in Yale for this program. Right. So for this program, I understand that it is highly competitive. Because it is quite a popular option, popular double degree program with our students. Yeah.
Right. なので、この一番右のイェールのマネジメント、イェールの MBA のこのデュアルディグリーのやつは、先に NS に入って、そこから競争を勝ち抜いた人がいけるプログラムということですね。結構人気があって、競争率が高いそうです。
これそもそもマネジメントのそのマスターオブアドバンストマネジメントって言って結構 MBA のさらにアドバンスなんですごい、しかもイェールに行けるからすごい人気ありますよね。そもそもイェールに入りたいっていう人も多いんで NUS とイェールっていうすごい組み合わせなんで。
これ卒業した後は皆さんどういうやっぱりマネジメント層とかに入っていくんですかね。ちょっと聞いてみてもいいですか。As for the Yale MBA double degree program, there are a major career paths of the students who are in the double degree program with the Yale MEM.
Sorry, the question again. What is the career path? Is that the question?
一緒なんじゃない基本的には。MBA だから。それは別にMBA のディグリーだから別にそれは一緒だよ。
なるほど。
別にこれだけは特別ってわけじゃなくて、これは入ってからアプライできるよねってことで。い
や卒業後にどういうキャリアに行く人
それは一緒だよ、他も。それはそれぞれの指向性によるよ。
なるほど。
わ
かりました。いやエグゼクティブとかそういう、年齢層上目の人が多いのかなと思ったんですけど。
だってそもそもだって別にアベレージが8イヤーだからそれは関係ないんじゃない？
そうですね。はい、わかりました。ありがとうございます。じゃあ、COVID の後、留学生の出願者、入学者は、その前に1個ありますね。すいません。ヘルスケアの選択コースがありましたが、こちらは入学後に選択可能でしょうか？ So the next question is, for the specialization in their curriculum, can students choose their specialization after enrolling the program? As for I found real estate and healthcare specialization in their immersive experience program.
Okay, all right, thanks, Annie. So for specializations, yes, actually, only if you are planning to apply for the real estate or the healthcare management specialization, then you would need to indicate it at the point of application. And that is because some of the core modules and electives under this specialization are offered by a partner college within NUS itself. So this is actually for the purpose of our program management team. They have to plan, they have to do the study plan and liaise with our partners for the in terms of the program and the curriculum for these students. But for the other 7 specializations, you need not choose it at the point of application because you will only be taking your electives from the 2nd semester onwards. So you only need to decide whether you want to do a specialization or not in your 1st semester in the NUS MBA.
Okay, thank you. なので、アプリケーションの段階で、示しておかないといけないよっていうことですね。ヘルスケアのプログラム、他の MBA にもあったりしますけれども、結構人気ありますよね。ありがとうございます。COVID-19 の後、留学生の出願数や入学数は減っていますかってことですね。はい。So, if there are any change in the number of students, enrolling students and applications during COVID-19 situation.
Okay, thanks, Amy. Actually, we were pleasantly surprised that there was not much change to the interest in the NUS MBA program despite the pandemic. In fact, of course, I think this is not just a concern for us, but for many schools as well. With all the lockdowns and travel restrictions, whether enrollment numbers will be affected. But fortunately for us, in fact, we did even better than previous years. So for the full-time MBA intake, we were able to have the same average number of students that we typically enroll every year. And in fact, we almost doubled our part-time MBA intake. So I think in a way, this pandemic also has given a lot of our students the opportunity to revisit their plans on going back to school. And people thought that it is actually a good opportunity for them to upgrade themselves during this period. So we did see almost double intake in the part-time MBA. So in fact, COVID-19 did not really have a major impact in terms of the enrollment numbers. And I think, in fact, we have done even better than previous years.
Thank you. なので、
シンガポールがやっぱり COVID セーフティープレイスだという認識あるんじゃないの？
そうですね。パートタイムの方は2倍ぐらいになって。
2倍ってすごいね。
で、なんかアルファでもね、よく言ってますけれども、やっぱりこういう時期で、なかなか会社の業績だったりとか、あと会社からレイオフとかもありますし、この後どうしようということで、一回学びに戻るみたいな、そういう方が多いって。
仕事を辞めずに、そのパートタイムで行きたいっていうニーズがすっごい増えてるんだろうね。
その今のうちに学んで。
今のうちに学んどこうっていうね。それはやっぱりさすがですね。
だから海外とかそういう思考の人が多いですよね。
ほとんどそうですね。はい。
ありがとうございます。次は、これはどうなんでしょうね。インターンの機会があるかっていうのは、インターンシップありましたよね。でも
ただインターンシップの機会はあるから、いいんじゃないですかね。学校に学校に行きの現地企業でインターンしてる。それはいるんじゃないですかね。一応聞いてみたら。
はい。なので、MBA に通いながら、現地のシンガポールの企業でインターンすることは可能ですかってことですね。確かさっきのプログラムのスライドにインターンシップっていうのがあったと思うんですけど。
あとはインターンだけじゃなくてさ、本採用で日本人の人たちが、そのシンガポールでファインドジョブできる可能性もあるのかみたいなのもちょっと合わせて聞いてみたら。
わかりました。So, the next question is about career paths. And if there are any opportunity for Japanese students to do internship during the MBA program. And one more question is, after graduation, is there any opportunity for Japanese to find job in Singapore and hunt job in Singapore after graduation?
Okay, so yes, in fact, there are you are able to do an internship during the MBA program, and I think that is the benefit of having a slightly longer MBA program compared to shorter MBA programs, because you kind of have that space and time, so to speak, for you to explore all these other opportunities and pathways, as I mentioned earlier, outside of just the classroom itself. You can choose to do a part-time internship. So as an international student, you will be holding a student pass, and student pass holders are able to work up to 16 hours per week on a part-time basis. So you can do an internship during the semester, but during the vacation period, student pass holders are allowed to work on a full-time basis as well. So what happens is we do have students who like to do an internship during the summer break, or what we call it the special term, that happens from May to July. So that is one good window for you to explore doing an internship. What some students do is they don't mind working part-time and studying at the same time, so they may actually do their internship part-time during the semester itself. You can also explore doing what we call a credit-bearing internship. So a credit-bearing internship means that you really do an internship and you earn academic credits for it, and that means you have to do the internship for a 3 to 4 month period on a full-time basis. All right, so these are just some of the ways that you can possibly explore an internship. And in fact, we do highly encourage our students to do internships during the program, because this is the best way for you to have a sense of what it is like to work in Singapore. And it's also a testing bit for you to find out whether that particular industry is really something that you want to go into after the MBA program. And we do have some students who have done well in their internships and managed to get themselves converted into a permanent role in the organization. Yeah. So definitely internships is doable and highly encouraged for our students.
Thank you. なので、ぜひ、
いいですね。
ハイリーエンカレッジなので、すごく強く推奨されてますし、実際にインターンシップ、
ビザの問題も特になさそうだし、16時間できるとか言ってたよね。
パフォーマンスが良ければ、そのまま採用されてっていうこともあるみたいなので、先ほどおっしゃってたキャリアサポートみたいなのも結構ね、手厚いという話をされてたので、ぜひ、本当シンガポールで働きたい方なんかはすごいいいですよね。
働きやすいしね。
ご質問とかでもよくありますもんね。シンガポールで働く。
それこそご家族でとかね、すごいいいですよね。
はい。じゃあ次のご質問に行きたいと思います。アドミッションの方から見て、アジアの中でも中国でも香港でもなく、シンガポールで学ぶにあたっての利便性、その他大学院と比較しての優位性についてご意見をお聞かせいただけると嬉しいです。また、ここがその他大学院と違うという点があれば教えていただきたいです。
まあ、いい質問ですね。
そうですね。まあね、もちろんその方のキャリアゴールとかによっても違うのかもしれないですけど。
やっぱり香港とか中国とかとの比較っていうのは皆さんしたいでしょうからね。
そうですね。So the next question is there any advantage to learn in Singapore compared to China and Hong Kong and some other countries or other areas? And also, could you explain more about the specialty and features of NUS MBA compared to other graduate schools?
Okay, thanks, Emily. So I think these are two very good questions, and in fact, very commonly asked questions by candidates that are prospective students that are interested in doing an MBA in Asia. I think typically for candidates who choose to go Hong Kong or China, I think they are more so looking at getting the network within not just mainland China, but Greater China as well. But I think for Singapore, it is really looking at the network within not just Singapore itself, but really the greater Asia region. And I think one thing I feel sets Singapore apart is that we are very diverse culturally, and we are very open to many different cultures. So if I may just go back to what I shared earlier about the part-time MBA, right? I mean, we all saw the class demographics for the part-time MBA. More than half the class are actually students who are not Singaporeans. So that already is an indication of how how international the I would say the population base is in Singapore. So and I think Singapore is really a very good, a very strong place to be in. If you are interested in like tech, finance, startups, and all that, because it is just very easy for businesses to set up to be set up over here. The barriers to entry are generally very low. It doesn't take you a lot to want to start something here. So it is a very good test bed actually for not just tech, but even startups, entrepreneurs, for example. A lot of people are very interested in coming to Singapore to set up their business here. So I think in terms of that, that's what I feel really sets Singapore apart from other countries. In terms of the program itself, we know that there are a lot of very strong MBA programs in Asia and in Singapore. But I think NUS MBA, what we really truly offer is really what we call that transformative journey. The program is rather flexible, as you can see from the structure, whereby we really let our students design and tailor the journey according to their needs. This is something that a lot of our students do bring up. They said that they actually like that flexibility, that they can switch from the full-time to the part-time MBA. It might be something that you may not think of at this point in time, but having that flexibility is actually an aspect that our students like, because for some of them, they might actually be able to find a very good opportunity, a job opportunity halfway through the program. And if, let's say, they want to take up that opportunity, they can actually opt to switch to the part-time program if they'd like to, and they can continue on their studies and work at the same time. So I think some programs will offer this flexibility, but not all programs offer this flexibility. So this is another commonly mentioned advantage that our students actually like about our program. And of course, again, the duration is something that is really what our students term as the sweet spot. So the recommended duration to finish the program is 17 months, but we have students who decide to compress their program into a more rigorous 12 months. You have the flexibility to do that. You can also stretch the program a little bit longer if you'd like to. So we had some students who added another semester because they wanted to do credit-bearing internships. They wanted to take on a couple more extra electives for the program. Yeah, so that flexibility is something that our students really value.
Thank you. なので、もちろんシンガポールっていう土地柄とかもありますし、特にテクノロジーとかファイナンス、あとはスタートアップの企業なんかが、立ち上げの、バリアというか、障壁があまり他の国とかに比べ、アメリカとかに比べて あと日本とかにも比べて低いので、そういう、スタートアップとかアーリーステージの企業なんかもすごくたくさんあるということですね。あとは先ほどの多分就職先とかにもあったんですけど、生徒さんの卒業後のキャリアでテクノロジーとファイナンスっていうのがすごく多かったと思うんですよね。なんで、そういう企業の、そういう方向性に行きたい方なんかすごくいいようですね。あとは、先ほどプログラムが17ヶ月っていう1年半ぐらいなんでちょうどいいですよねっていう話をしてたんですけど、そこもすごくフレキシブルで、ちょっとパックして12ヶ月で受けることもできるし、あと、なんかパートタイムとフルタイムのその切り替えもなんか中で可能っていうお話をされてましたね。はい。素晴らしい。ありがとうございます。では、次のご質問に行きたいと思います。シンガポールのヘッジファンドに興味があるのですが、ポスト MBA キャリアはどうでしょうか？金融工学と組み合わせたプログラムがありますか？見ていきますね。So the next question is about a career after MBA program. Especially the question, he is interested in a hedge fund in Singapore. So if there are any career path opportunity for getting a job in Singapore hedge fund, and also can students learn MBA and financial engineering at the same time during the program?
Okay, so hedge fund, yes. In fact, definitely you can explore post MBA career in that area. Not just only in this industry or in this area, but the good thing is that in NUS Mba we do have our career office and our alumni office. We do have very good relationships with a lot of corporates. And I think this actually presents a very diverse set of potential opportunities that our students can go into. In fact, interestingly, we have had many students who might have had a plan to go into a particular function or industry after the MBA. But during the course of the program, they saw the many other opportunities available, and then they probably, changed their mind halfway through the program. It is actually quite common to see that happening in the program. All right, so I hope that answers the first part of the question. And Emmy, do you mind repeating the second question again?
So can students learn MBA and
financial engineering, right?
At the same times, or if there are programs that where students can learn financial engineering?
And unfortunately, we do not offer any like MBA together with financial engineering. Yeah, at this point in time, yeah, we do not.
Okay, thank you. なので、ヘッジファンドのキャリアは全然あるっていうことと、あとアラムナイとか、そのキャリアオフィスが紹介してくれたりとか、つないでくれたりとか、そういう機会も結構あるっていうことですね。MBA とファイナンシャルエンジニアリングの何でしょう、コンビネーションみたいなプログラムはないということでした。はい、皆さん、たくさんご質問いただきありがとうございます。
だから、ファイナンシャルエンジニアリング取りたいんだったら、それこそマスター・オブ・ファイナンスを行くべきなんでしょうね。
そうですね。エンジニアリングのプログラムというか、マスターもすごいたくさんあるので、
NS もあるので、さっき言った、別にお金と時間が許せばね、別に MBA とファイナンシャルエンジニアリング取ればいいし、
そうですね。
さっきの最初のクエスチョンですよね。それこそ、よりディープに行きたいんだったら MBA よりもファイナンシャルエンジニアリングに入った方がいい。あとはバックグラウンドでもすでにアセットマネジメントとかでトレーディングやってる人とかだったら結構そういう人もいるんですよね。で、実際にもう香港とかシンガポールの MBA って僕も何人も会いましたけれども、その前職がヘッジファンドとかアセットマネジメントのトレーディングやってて、で、それこそ現地に行っても、そしたらもうすぐ香港とかシンガポールでインターンとかできてもオファーももらっちゃえるんで。で、そうなった時に MBA で行ってもいいし、よりそのファイナンシャルエンジニアリングをやりたいのであれば MBA すっ飛ばして、 ファイナンシャルエンジニアリングを取った方がいいっていう選択になると思います、ね。同時に取るとなると、ああいうハルトみたいな、なんかハーフ&ハーフみたいな、多分こういうところはないので、そういうこう、テクノロジーと MBA 両方取れる。だから僕はいつもハルトがいつもまあそこしかないって話をしてて、だからもうマスターを1個ずつ取るイメージしかない。もしくはまあちょこっとつまむぐらいはできると思いますけどね。多分取れても1、2科目かなっていう感じがするので、それはどっちか決めた方がいいと思いますね。
ありがとうございます。皆さん、たくさんご質問いただきありがとうございます。これで終わりかな。So that's all for the question. And thank you for a great presentation and Q&A session. I think the audience becoming interested in and more getting to know about NUS MBA program. So could you wrap up and give us some remarks?
Right, sure. Okay, thank you so much again for this opportunity. Yeah, so I hope that today's session will give all of us a good overview of the NUS MBA program. And I would really like to encourage everyone to seriously consider the NUS MBA and file in an application for the program if you are looking to start your MBA this coming summer. So perhaps I would just go back to the application deadlines again, if that's all right. All right, yeah. So just a final reminder on our application deadline for the August 2021 intake. So we do have a final deadline of 31st of March for the NUS MBA August 2021 intake. So I do encourage you to file in an application and really join this transformational MBA journey with us. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. なので、アプリケーションは1月のやつはね、もう終わってしまうと思うので、3月31日まで、全然期間ありますし、パートタイムに至っては3月31日と、そのファイナルラウンドは5月17日なので、全然間に合いますので、ぜひ、NUS 受けたいとか、シンガポールに興味あるという方は、挑戦されてください。アルファでも今受けてる人もいるので、引き続き頑張って3月のアプリケーションに向かって進んでいければと思います。はい。いすみさん、最後にコメントよろしくお願いします。
はい、本当に素晴らしい学校ですし、シンガポールにね、移住したいという人も非常に多いので、それこそさっき言ったみたいに Facebook とか Google とか P&G の、アジアのヘッドクォーターもありますしね。あと東南アジアにも近いですし、もうとにかくプロフェッショナルな側面でもパーソナルな側面でも申し分ないし、あとCOVID も、かなりすごい管理をされているので、安全面に関しては非常に多分進んでいると思いますから、安心して本当に学べるですね、素晴らしいトップ校の一つというのは間違いないと思うので、3月30日、1日、これがデッドラインなので、まだまだ十分2ヶ月半あるので、ぜひトライしていただきたいですし、今日ね、アドミッションが来てくれたっていうことは、皆さん分かってますよねってことなので、いや、もう NUS 行きたいっていう人はですね、まず取り急ぎアルファにご相談いただければ、いろいろもちろんレジュメとかエッセイとかレコメンデーションとか、テストとかいろいろサポートしますけれども、それに加えていろいろと良きに計らいますので、ぜひ今すぐに興味のある人はご相談いただければと思います。
はい、ありがとうございます。So thank you so much for this great session tonight. そう、皆さんも今日はご視聴いただきありがとうございました。たくさんご質問もいただいて、また追加でご質問とかあれば、私たちの方に聞いていただければ、アドミッションの方にもご紹介しつつ、そのクエスチョン聞いていただくこともできますし、あとね、在校生の方とかもまた必要があれば紹介していただけると思うので、ぜひご連絡、興味のある方はですね、いつでもご連絡いただければと思います。 アルファアドバイザーズでは、まず皆さんの現状を伺ったりですとか、それこそご質問を伺う無料相談というのをやってますので、ぜひご興味のある方、まずは無料相談入れていただければと思います。無料相談の際は、アルファアドバイザーズのウェブサイトからログインをしていただいて、マイページの中にある無料相談チャットというところからご連絡をいただければと思います。皆様からのご連絡をお待ちしております。That's all for today's session. Thank you for a wonderful time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
それでは今日はこれで失礼いたします。
はい。では引き続きよろしくお願いします。
お願いいたします。
はい。ありがとうございました。
Thank you.
Thank you very much.